We're not brutalized because we're Muslims. We're not brutalized because we're Catholics. We're brutalized because we are black people in America.
This is such an incredible film, The Lost Tapes of Malcolm X. He was an iconic figure, not just for African Americans, not just for Americans, but really for the world. And so we really could think of no better way to celebrate Black History Month than by showing this film, bringing in our community partners and friends, and having this experience with them tonight.
Everything that he's saying could pop off a headline right now. I think, his message, his rhetoric, his tone is perfectly in keeping with the tenor of the national conversation on race in America today.
Go where the Uncle Toms are, and you'll find the house Negro. Go where the Negro leaders are, and you'll find the house Negro.
A firebomb was tossed into the home of Malcolm X here in New York City early this morning.
No single 48-minute film could contain the entire life of Malcolm X, but what you get instead is the power of him speaking.
And I, for one, as a Muslim, believe that the white man is intelligent enough. If he were made to realize how black people really feel and how fed up we are without that old compromise and sweet talk.
This is a guy who demanded to be heard, and the film encourages you to stop and listen to him.
Stop sweet-talking him. Tell him how you feel. Tell him what kind of hell you've been catching, and let him know that if he's not ready to clean his house up, if he's not ready to clean his house up, he shouldn't have a house. It should catch on fire and burn down.
He is an iconic figure in our history, and not only African-American history, but in American history.
I think his life arc is also just incredibly inspirational, because I think his story really shows that we all evolve, and our thinking evolves, and we evolve based on life experiences.
Do you consider yourself militant? I consider myself Malcolm.
It's just wonderful to be able to premiere this kind of work as the repository of Maryland African-American history and culture. To be able to share the history and culture of Malcolm X with Maryland is exciting for us.
He portrayed himself as a smart, intelligent person that, had beliefs that he wanted to share and help. He had a different way of instilling hope.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy.
You'll get a feel for how significant he was. This was a guy who was passionately committed to speaking to African Americans, civil rights leaders, and everyday black people in America, and that's who he was engaging with. And I think when you realize that, you realize how significant a role that he had.
No, if you stick a knife in my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches, there's no progress. If you pull it all the way out, that's not progress. The progress is healing the wound that the blow made. And they haven't even begun to pull a knife out, much less try and heal the wound. They won't even admit the knife is there.
And so I think a film that talks about these issues in such an open and frank way is very relevant now, and it's a conversation that we can continue to have and should continue to have.